I think you guys have been, saying all the right things. Essentially, there's a massive pull and push between the various sort of incoming news flow, incoming data flow, where you've obviously got virus data, which is looking increasingly concerning in certain parts of the world, and the US obviously is the world's consumer of last resort. That has an outsized impact on global markets relative to if that were occurring elsewhere. You obviously have the mechanical opening up of economies, and that's driving data improvement in a very sequential month on month kind of basis. Which shouldn't really be extrapolated, but again, it does seem to take away some of the most dramatic downside near-term risks. There is a narrative emerging which connects Europe to a better crisis response, and therefore potentially puts Europe in a more positive cyclical position as we move out of the lockdown phase, and that's certainly having an influence on prices. And then you've got the complications of commodities, where the oil market essentially is very difficult to analyze at this juncture. We don't really have any idea what the demand picture looks like. We know that the supply picture is improved relative to the price war, which quickly occurred and disappeared between Saudi Arabia and the breakup of OPEC Plus. But it does feel that potentially OPEC Plus is looking to increase production in the future. So there's a heck of a lot going on. It all seems to be pushing and pulling, and so we're just seeing really quite choppy price action. I suppose specifically with Europe, you'd have to throw in the recovery fund discussions, which are ongoing, and so we are seeing headlines emerging again in either direction, some positivity and still some opposition from the frugal four, frugal five if you include Finland, and then also potentially the Visegrads, depending on how the Europeans carve out this solution, which hopes to deal with some of the concerns that exist. So it's still a very choppy market. It's still very difficult for a big picture macro guy like myself. I think there's more noise than signal at the moment.